Hello and welcome to Batman on a Budget, the show where I teach you, the non-billionaire type, how to become Batman on a non-billionaire type budget. Today I'm going to be talking about all the different things you can do with sheet metal. Now the sheet metal I get from Home Depot in these 1 foot by 1 foot squares. This is a little bit thicker. This I use for my batarangs because it's nice and heavy enough to be able to actually throw. If you want to pause the video, copy this information down to be able to get it. 22 gauge, that's the thickness of it, 12 by 12 size. And you can also get some types of metal in 12 inch by 24 inch foot size. And I'll tell you what you can make with those a little bit later. This is aluminum. It's very, very flexible. It's not too good for the batarangs and other stuff like that. But it's good for some props. Just not good for batarangs because it's not too strong and not too heavy and sturdy enough to throw. Those are the actual full sheets I have. But then this is a little bit thinner steel. This is 28 gauge. Now see, this was the 12 inch by 24 inch. Actually use these to cut out the bat fins for my car, which I'll be telling you a little bit later. Alright, so for the thicker metal, what I use this for is to cut batarangs, because this is nice and heavy enough to be able to throw, and you can make it nice and sharp enough to be able to stick in, and I'm making it without being too thin as well. So this is my newest batarang I made. Now, this does work because it can work as a bludgeon. However, for sticking in, it's only got the 2 points there and on the other side. So unless it lands like that, it's not going to stick in. More than likely, it's going to, as it's rotating, it's probably going to stick. It's going to hit like that, or that, or that, or like that, or that, and so it's more likely not going to stick in. So if you're trying to stick something in like for target practice, this is not a good one to use. However, like I said, against bad guys, it could work as a bludgeon, which I would not recommend doing anything against the law, being a vigilante. And since it's most likely for props and stuff, this would not be good to use for target practice because you have to stick it in just like that. Better ones to use are these ones. And these are a little bit on the small side, but they still work pretty well. Because these, it's got the flat edge there, and so more than likely it's going to hit the point in. It's not sticking in point in. There we go. And those work pretty well for darts, like throwing like a dart, or the throwing like a batarang with actually spinning. So that shape is the best shape in my opinion. I made my own shape. It's very similar. It's a V shape. It's got the 3 points though, and the top cut out a little bit, just like the bat shaped ones. So those work pretty well. This is actually the thinner gauge. I'm going to be making some out of thicker. But those work pretty well. Also for the thinner ones, as I showed you in my batarang video, make the triangle shaped ones, or you can drill the holes in the center. And I forgot to show in the batarang ones, you can also make diamond shaped ones. And these, because they're bigger, they're a little bit heavier and throw a little bit better. However, they've only got 1-2 points that actually stick in. Technically, you might be able to stick in there, but not worthy, or not dependable enough. So, your basically best shape is the triangular shape. Either this triangle or this type triangle. This is the first one I made, so it's a little bit lopsided because I didn't use the templates yet. Yeah, but even that works still. And it's still got the triangular shape. Now, and then there's this, because it's so long and thin, you throw it more like a throwing knife than a ninja star. But that works pretty well. It's not sticking in. But that works pretty well. Despite its shape, which I haven't actually hammered that smooth yet. Aside from the batarangs, you can also use for the props. For example, I made this for the front of my car. I've got a black car, so it works as a Batmobile. And I purposely bent it in the middle because the hood curves in the front. And then I just use magnets to stick it to the front. These magnets here, which are neodymium magnets, and theirs are super, super strong. Here's the one for the back of the car, which I did test. I don't know if you want to go into armor making, which I'm not going to make mine out of metal, but these are actually BB dents from a CO2 powered metal BB. So that, I mean, that supplies good armor. If you did one, this is the thinner one actually, so that'll work as armor if you ever want to make something like, or helmet or mask or anything like that. But then, yeah, I should cut this out, put it in the back of the car, and then just hold it on with the magnets, and it works pretty well just for props. Also, I cut this out of the 1x1 sheet, cutting it diagonally. But for the 1x2 sheet, I'm just going to use this as a template. You can cut the a curve like that, and then cut the this shape out the back. You can just imagine if there's another piece over there, how it's kind of thin shaped, and then attach those to your car after you paint them black. Attach those to the car with some bolts. However, you do have to be careful because the tips that'll be sticking out are very sharp. What I actually did for mine is I just cut off the tip because it's so sharp. I actually injured myself. Pretty badly. I can't find. Yeah, there it is. Which is healed now. But it was cut pretty deep. So you do want to be careful with that. Here's another one of my bat legends. I'll probably turn this into like a bola or something, or attach it to a rope. Grappling hook maybe. But it's just it doesn't have points well enough to actually stick in. And then, odd note, not necessarily Batman related. If you like Green Arrow, for example, or Hawkeye, you can make these arrowheads. Now I had an arrowhead, because I do archery as well. And I had an arrowhead that, it comes with a special little thing. You just remove the screws, and you take out the old arrowhead and put in new ones in the dole. So I had the idea, it might be cheaper just make your own. Literally, if you counted the cost of the whole sheet, then make millions of these. Literally, it's probably about 5 cents an arrowhead versus $3 an arrowhead for those ones. Good shapes. Get pretty good shapes out of these. Generally, you want them centrally balanced. But I mean, you do cool designs, and this still works pretty well as long as you get the point in the right place, so that when it spins, it still hits here, and the center isn't here over here. This one I made, I really like. I think it was actually based off of a Skyrim arrow I saw. However, it doesn't fly too well, specifically because I didn't get that point over the center, as you can see. That's basically it. That's all I've made out of sheet metal so far. I do use, like I said, I use the thinner one and the heavier gauge type. And those are thin enough that I can actually just use these tin snips to use, or aviator shears, they're also called. I actually got another pair from a garage sale for free, so that's what I use to cut. And then, as I explained in the Batarang video, you want to use your files to file it smooth. You want to use the hammer and this. I use this clamp. You can also use an anvil or anything similar like that, just heavy metal to hammer it smooth. There's my cat. Hi, cat. So that's it for the sheet metal video. Everything I have for the sheet metal video. I will be in the future showing you some things for training to become Batman, because Batman isn't just gadgets. He's also got his physique, his fitness, his health. So I will be doing some videos about recommendations for martial arts. And then one final announcement. I am in a movie. Batman the Musical. This is the official poster for it. It's on YouTube. I will leave a link in the comments. But that is me. That's Batman. And you can see I actually use the this shape batarang. I don't have it with me now, but I actually use this shape of batarang in there so you can see how well it works as a prop. So click on the link in the description for the Batman the Musical. Like that video, like this video, and don't forget to comment. Bye.